Hey crew, it's Pid, and I'm back. And today we're going to be talking cognitive types and how to determine them. Turn that light off. We're going to be trying to differentiate and show some examples of the difference between an N and an S. We want to show the difference between ideas and things. And I put together a little graphic to hopefully help with that a little bit. But let's look at it. That did not transition. Why did that not transition? I said, transition, please. Thank you very much. All right. So what we've got is a timeline. This is pretty much how it breaks down. Now, there is a little bit of variability in this, but for the most part, whenever someone is discussing something, they are going to be focused on these things, right? And so you can tell a lot by what someone continuously pulls the subject back to. If you're talking with someone and it's always getting pulled back to the new and shiny thing, then that's going to be an SE user, because they're talking about the things now and that it's new and that it's shiny. And if they're talking about, if they always go back to this was the best model ever, that's going to be back here. And then if they're talking about, well, maybe one day we will see, it's going to be this right here. And then maybe it's, if they're like, no, most likely it's going to be this. That's that. Oh, I did that wrong. Okay. That's going to be the NI. Think about it as a car show. It's you and your homies, right? 4 people. Y'all go, and each one of you represents one of these 4 types. You're at the car show, and there's a guy, and all he can think is, man, look at that car, and wow, look at this car, and wow, look at that car, and wow, do you see this car? Hey guys, do you see this? Hey, have you seen this? That's our SE user. He is constantly trying to bring you the physical gratification of seeing the brand new things. He wants you to know that there are brand new things here. Whereas if you get into the SI guy, he's looking at these cars and he's like, well, that's nice, and that's kind of nice too. But man, this car right here, this is the best car that has ever been. It's got a 454, 4 on the floor. It's got a transmission that's keyed out. The carburetor's bored out. You've got the head fully adjusted. You've got everything perfect in this one car. That's SI. They are dealing with organizing all of the things. You got all of these things that the SE user is just like, look at. Well, the SI user is saying, hey, wait, no, don't look at all these. Check this one out. This one's the best one. That's the difference between the two. One of them is dealing with the present. See all these things. And the other one is dealing with the past. Out of all of these things, this one was the best. That's the difference between SE and SI. Now, the difference between NE and SE and SE and NI and SI is the tense. It's what you're dealing with, right? Whereas the SE is dealing with, look at all these cars. The NE is looking at them and going like, well, I wonder if they're going to have this one, or I'm wondering if this is going to be here, or I'm wondering if this one's going to be here. They're not looking at what's actually here. They're wondering, is this one here, out here somewhere? They're wondering what modifications might be put onto the car next time. They might be like, well, this is a nice car if you put this and this and this. If you expand these possibilities, then this would be a great car. Or their next year's model might have better fuel efficiency. Next year's model might have thumb lock or whatever next year's possibility might be. And then while all these 3 are discussing these things, this NI guy's over here and he's like, no, next year's model is more than likely going to have this one thing. They're going to take the possibility and narrow it down into one possibility. If you look at these like firearms, these 2 right here in the middle, this is a shotgun, right? This is a broad spectrum. It is picking up as many possibilities as you can. It is not really wanting to settle on one possibility. It's not wanting to settle on one type of car. If you are a lead NE, you're not going to say, well, most likely this is what's going to happen. You're going to, well, they might do this, they might do this, they might do that. Whereas the NI guy is going to be like, no, more than likely the next modification will be this. And they're very certain about it. An SE, a lot of times you can hear them and they're like, hey guys, did you hear? Right? That, or hey, did you see? Those are key phrases for the SE user. They are, hey, did you? Right? It's, hey, did you see this? Hey, did you know this? Hey, did you, like, that is the E. It is gathering. Did you know? Did you see? Whereas the SI is more of a, like, well, you might think this one's the best, but what is actually the best is this. Or you may think that you're doing that in the right manner, but the right manner is actually this technical manual right here. They're very focused on doing things according to a procedure, as opposed to an SE kind of wings it, where an SI is very much by the book. You see an SE wanting to give experiences to people. Hey, did you try this new place to eat? Whereas an SI is like, I know the best place to eat. Or an SE is like, hey, there's a new place to eat. An NE is like, I wish that they had a chicken place here. I wish that they had a fish place here. I wish that they had a steak place here. I wish that they had all of these things. And then an NI is like, you know what would be really good is if we had a Longhorn. Right? If they narrow it down to one possibility in the future all the time. And that's the other part of this, is when you're having a conversation with somebody, and this happens to everybody. Everybody tries to pull the conversation back to what they're comfortable with. So if you're talking to an SE user about what's the best, they're going to continuously try to pull in new options. Despite what you think might be the best, they're like, well, what about this one? What about this one? What about this one? What about this one? But they are things that are actually already done. Whereas an NE person, if you try and tell them that this is the best, and they're like, well, it would be the best if this happened, or if this happened, or if this happened. And an SE person is dealing very much with, okay, these are the berries, I'm going to gather them. There is the meat, I'm going to hunt it. An SI person is, you have hunted the meat, I'm going to cure it and put it away. Or whereas an NE person is more of a, well, we could go hunt here, 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 and maybe there will be something there. And an NI person is going to be, this spot, this hunting spot, is probably where we're going to find the most food. This gathering spot is probably where we're going to find the most food. All of these deal with evolutionary traits. They all help each other. You need all of these, and you have all of these, and you use them to various degrees. The determining factor is what you mainly focus on. It is not that you never have an idea, or you never narrow down an idea if you're an SE user. That's not what that means. As a matter of fact, if you're an SE user, that means that you're going to be an NI user on the other side of the stack. So you're going to take all of the things and you're going to use that to make the determination. But defining the things is the most important part of it to you. The narrowing it down is the most important part of it to the NI user. The making sure that the technical details are correct and that we've got the food stored in the correct manner and that we are prepared for the correct things. That is an SI trait. That is wanting to make sure that everything is organized. The things that have already happened are organized. These are all the things that we see. These are all the things that could happen in the future. And this is what most likely will happen in the future. You see a lot of people clustered around these two right here because that is what we mostly deal with. You see a good portion more clustered around here because once we have these things, this especially, once we have the SE especially, we need people to put it into a box. We need people to take those things that we have done and to narrow them down into the one best option. Now, chances are, if you are an SE user, you are not the one to narrow down the best option. chances are, if you are an SE user and you try to do this, you're going to do it wrong, bruh. And it's not a fault of yours. It's something that you have to learn how to do. An SE user has to learn harder how to preserve things. I'm an SE user. Making this graphic, as bad as it is, it's like pulling teeth for me. I really don't like that part of the thing. But the talking about it, I don't mind. I like expressing these ideas to y'all, especially since I am an SI user. Like my stack is NIFE, TISE. And so I really like talking to y'all about the one idea, right? This one idea, this one box that I've got right now is the MBTI system, right? But it's not the MBTI with all the possibilities that these other people have out there. I have narrowed that down to the one way that I feel it works the best. And now I am giving you that experience, because that is what SE is all about. It's about giving experience to people. Here is the experience of this new car and this new car and this new car. Whereas an SI person is all about receiving the experience. I have found that this car is the best experience. So for me, this is the best car. For me, this is the best idea. But for me, all of these ideas are equally valid. Another way, I'm trying to get in as many examples as I can, because I'm not going to try and come back to the NISE thing too much. We'll be getting into these in much more detail as individual traits here shortly. But another way to look at it is if there's a hurricane coming, right? And you've got 4 people and you're sitting around and it's your 4 neighbors, right? And your 4 neighbors right here. So you've got one guy that's running around and he's like, all right, your fence is in place, your pets are secured, your house is tied down, your lawn is picked up, making sure that all of these current actions are taken care of. They are the person who is making sure that everything is taken care of right now. The SI person is tracking the storm. They're the ones saying, okay, we've got about 3 hours until this thing hits. We've got about an hour and a half until the winds start picking up. We got about 2 hours until the rain starts coming. Like, they're the person that is tracking the progress of things, because that has already happened. That is in the past. They're not as concerned about what is going on right now. They're more worried about what has already happened. Now, the NE user is sitting there and they're like, man, what if the roof blows off the house? What if one of the walls fall down? What if there's a tornado and it comes and it sucks our car up and throws it on the roof? What are we going to do then? What are we going to do then? They're the person that freaks out about the possibilities. About well, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen, this could happen. That's the NE person. They are looking in the future, the near future, saying what could possibly happen right now that is going to affect us right now. Whereas an NI user is like, yeah, it's only a category 4. We're going to get a lot of rain, we're going to get a lot of wind, but we're probably going to be all right. They're the ones that's narrowing down the far future possibility. They're saying, this is going to happen. There's no way to get around this happening. But what's probably going to happen is, whereas the NE person is very concerned about all of the things that could possibly go wrong. The SE person is making sure that all of the things are taken care of. Everything right around us is secured and it's going to be safe. And the SI person is like, hey, this thing's about to hit us. We need to pay attention to get in the house. They all serve an evolutionary purpose. And when you find out what your purpose is, it helps you to start to define what your purpose needs to be. If you are an SE user, then you need to be helping people to see the new things. Because that's going to make you fucking happy. You're going to be ecstatic by helping people to see all these things. An NE user is going to be ecstatic by helping people see the possibilities. The NI user is going to be ecstatic to narrow down all of these things into the most probable outcome. The SI user loves taking all of the things that have already happened and then sorting them down to the one thing. Now, everybody uses every bit of all of these. Like, if you're an NI user, you use NE too. It's just in a different part of your stack, and you don't use it most likely in a healthy manner. For me, I don't see a lot of possibilities. I miss them. I think I do. I think I know what I'm fucking talking about. But most of the time, I just kind of miss it. I have to take extra time. As part of getting healthy in my stack, I have to take the extra time to make sure that I have considered the other possibilities before I narrow them all down. Now, I'm still going to narrow them down. I'm still throwing all of MBTI into this box that I created. Like, I may have had source material. I may have went out and did like the actual, let's find out what the things are known now. I did that. I didn't enjoy it too much. I even listed. I've got charts and I've got stuff. That was an intentional choice for me because it is very hard for me to do that. But I use these things. You use these things. The key to this system is figuring out which one you use the most. And none of them make you a special snowflake. Like, none of them make you the most precious thing on the earth. There's a lot of people that come to MBTI and they're seeking justification for their actions. You will not find that on this channel. Now, you may find the reasons why you tend towards things, but the ultimate decision is yours. You decide whether or not you want to have a better life. Using this system, I am creating a better life for me. Using the infinite integration system, I am creating a better life for me. Things are better now than they were 3 years ago, and for damn sure better than 2 years ago. And they're continuously getting better because I am applying these things in my life. I am making sure that I am talking when I don't really want to do that. I'm not a fan of talking. I'm not a real big socializer. Like, that was why I drank, was so I liked hanging around people. Because I love everybody. I love every single one of you, in theory. But that practical application, man, that practical application gets me every time. Because I see people out here doing dumb stuff. And I ain't got a whole lot of time for dumb stuff. Like, I'm here and I am here. And that doesn't give a whole lot of time for these possibilities that don't make sense. Like, these scenarios that play out and it's like, there is no possible way. There is no possible way that the last president is going to be reinstalled. Period. As much as I may even want that to happen, it will not happen. He is not going to get miraculously shoved into office and the current one kicked out. That is not a rational possibility. My NI will absolutely not allow me to consider that. The earth is not flat. There is no argument that you can make that will ever contradict the evidence of my own eyes. I personally have seen the curvature of the earth. In the Baltic, I'm going to tell you the story. Baltops, 1997. The USS Cape St. George. We're in the Baltic Sea. It's 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock in the morning. The sun is not really coming up because it didn't really go down, right? We're in the summertime in the Arctic. But the sea is perfect glass. I'm talking about no waves, no ripples, no obstructions, no nothing. The sun's just coming up. There's no wind. There's nothing. And if you look out across this expanse of 1,000 miles in this direction and 1,000 miles in that direction of no land, and you can see the earth go like this. I know some of y'all gonna get big mad about that, but you can see it with your physical eyes from the plane of the horizon. You don't have to be above the ground. But you know what? I've seen it there too. I have been in a plane and looked out a fucking window and you can see the fall of the earth. You can do that. You can do the experiments. And I know that for some of y'all who have got this one box, this one NI box right here of the earth is flat. And there is no argument that I can make that can change your mind. You can look at empirical evidence and completely dismiss it. You can look at the experiments that first proved the curvature of the Earth, the simplest experiment possible. Like if you're at a northern latitude and a southern latitude, which is what they did. You had one guy in, I think it was Italy and Egypt, and they had the same size monolith. It was an obelisk, and they measured the shadow on the same day at the same time. They both decided through correspondence across thousands of miles that they were going to observe the size of the shadow of this identical object in two different locations and record the length of the shadow. And guess what? Big secret, big secret. It wasn't the same. One of them was longer than the other one. You know why that is? You know why that is? It's because the Earth is round, bub. All of the videos you see, like, it astounds me that people can even still believe in the flat Earth theory. Simply because, like, you see all these videos of the flat earthers, we're going to prove it wrong. And they go out there with their lasers, out there they're going to shoot across the bay, right? And they're all like, if the world is flat, like I believe it is, then it's going to hit right here. And if it's not, it's going to hit down here. And then it hits down here, and they're like, well, I don't understand. There must have been something wrong with the experiment. It's like, no. The experiment proved exactly what it was supposed to prove. You're a moron. I know I shouldn't have said that. I'm sorry. I do love y'all. I really do. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. I hope I brought just a little bit of, why is that doing that? Something is not right here. Let's see if I can get this. Wow, what is going on? All right, well, we're going to wrap it up. Without going back, I'm going to have to figure out my technical difficulties on the other side. I hope that I brought a little bit of enlightenment and not too much confusion to a very complicated topic. I fully understand that if you are here as an MBTI fan, you are pissed. You're going to be more pissed as we get more into this, because I'm a member of several MBTI groups on Facebook, and I follow them on YouTube, and I watch their videos, and I see how they do the thing, and it's like, you're really not doing it right. What CS is doing right now, like Chase really helped me to understand a whole lot of things, but the type grid that Chase uses is fundamentally flawed. It does not work. Period. The end. Like, there is no doubt about that. It doesn't matter how many thousands of people watch his shit. He is wrong. The typing system that he is using is fundamentally flawed. The variables do not work. Period. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. And I like Chase. Like, he can be a little narcissistic. And I think, honestly, I'm going to be honest with y'all, I really think that Chase was doing this to try and get laid. Like, I think he was in a bad spot with his relationships because they were going not great. And he decided to change his life around, and he latched onto something that could do it. And he has explained a lot of things. And here's the really crazy part about it is, like, Chase has explained things and then went and did things later that doesn't make sense with the way that he talked about them. A lot of the things that I talked about here, I pulled from Chase. Most of what I do came from C.S. Joseph and Objective Personality. Dave and Shan over at Objective Personality are doing great work, but they're a little too complicated with it. Several of the other ones, Personality Hackers, not really. You don't really have it at all. Like, at all. I'm sorry. Socionics, the whole system, just, I don't like it. I don't like the way that it's set up. I don't like the representative a whole lot. I know that's a shitty thing to say, and I shouldn't say that because it's going to make somebody feel bad, but I'm working on my FE parent. And, like, I really don't like the skits that he does trying to sell science. I'm just telling you how the system works. I'm trying to give a few examples so that you can identify with them. But I'm not really trying to just shove it down your throat. Like, if you're not happy with this, then be blessed. Have a great day. But if you can understand this, it can help change your life. If you can integrate these things, it can help change your life. And that is all I am trying to do. I am trying to make money off of this. I'm not lying to nobody. I ain't bullshitting about nothing. But it's never going to make me rich, right? This is going to be a passive income coming in at some point, probably way down the road. I'm doing this because it needs to be done, not as a game to try and get laid, or not as a game to try and get fame. Like, that is not what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to help people by showing how I help myself. The first step of that is this, and I know I said I was going to wrap this up a minute ago, so let me go ahead and do that. I tend to ramble when I'm talking to y'all. That is me working on my informative. So I hope I brought a little bit of enlightenment, not too much confusion, to a very complicated topic. If you have any questions, please drop them in the comments down below. Let me know what you need to know so that I can help you. Keep in mind that I am praying for you every single day, that I love you, and that you are full, whole, complete, and worthy as you are. Now, you may want to be better than you are, and that is perfectly okay. And if you do, I'm here to help you. Till next time, this has been Pitt. Love you. Peace.